Hey guys, welcome back to markdillon.com. Or if you're watching this on YouTube, I would really appreciate it, pretty please, if you'll subscribe to my channel. I'm about 1,000 subscribers away from 15,000, and I'd like to hit that mark. So if you enjoy watching my videos, please subscribe. If you don't enjoy watching my videos, get the hell off my channel. No, I'm just kidding. You can watch, even if you don't like them. Um, Anywho, actually, I have to say, sometimes you guys leave me some really good questions, either through email or in the comments section below a video that I've put up. And just the other night, I put up a video about how to break up with someone, and I saw this question this morning, and I thought it was so good, I'll answer it right away. It's from Dylan. He says, "Hi, Mark. I'm really enjoying watching your videos. Thank you for giving up your time to help others. I'm a 22-year-old man from the UK who's training to be a doctor. I'm often training with people who have grown up in very privileged backgrounds, and it can make me feel insecure about myself, since I came from a rather poor background. You seem to me to be a pretty secure guy. I was wondering, though, is there anything about yourself or life that you feel insecure about? And if so, how do you deal with your insecurities?" All right, Dylan. Well, first of all, I think that it's very important to remember that a certain amount of insecurity or self-doubt is perfectly natural and perfectly human. Nobody goes through life without having to deal with this at some point, or at various points. It just, no such person exists that's immune from it. And the people who try to put on all this bravado and act like they just don't care, sometimes, very often, are the most self-conscious people. Now, this analogy basically sums up my philosophy on self-doubt and insecurity in a nutshell. It's okay to have the self-doubt of a mountain climber who's halfway up. It's not okay to have the self-doubt of the guy standing at the base of the mountain and is always too scared to even make the attempt. Meaning, if your insecurity is getting to the point that it's becoming a true hindrance to your life, where you're not able to enjoy life, where you're constantly feeling depressed, it hinders your ability to be a good friend or a good partner, then that is a very serious issue. But just the general insecurity, self-doubt that comes through life, that's normal. And you shouldn't make more out of it than there is. Another analogy that I like is that it's okay if it's an ankle weight. It's not okay if it's an anchor. So, an ankle weight sometimes can make you a better runner, give you stronger legs. It's improving you. And a little bit of self-doubt or insecurity can make you strive to better yourself as a person. Now, an anchor around your neck just keeps you stuck where you are. So it's important to realize how this insecurity or self-doubt is really affecting your life, more so than the fact that it's just there. Now, as for in your case, your thing is that you're around people who are coming from privileged or wealthy backgrounds. Well, listen, sometimes the best people are not the richest people. Now, there are plenty of wonderful, very generous, rich people out there, but that by no means is reflective of them being, a better person than you. We can all get on Google and within 60 seconds find plenty of stories of people who come from privileged backgrounds who are an absolute waste of the oxygen on this planet. So, I think that you just have to keep that in mind, that we have to judge ourselves based on the quality of person that we are. Do you feel that you add more to the world than you take from it? You're training to be a doctor. You're going to help people. That's a very noble profession, in most cases. But I think that you just can't you can't constantly compare yourself to the people around you. That is a very hard thing to do, for anybody. Because let me tell you, even the rich people have their insecurities. Some of the most gorgeous people on the planet have their own insecurities. It doesn't matter how rich, how smart, how talented you are. Everybody is dealing with some form of insecurity. So, listen, don't make more out of it than there should be. Don't let the fact that you came from a different set of circumstances than these people make you feel inferior. It's perfectly natural for that thought to pop into your head, but you don't have to listen to that thought. Think of it as, this voice that will occasionally just pop into your head and say something really negative to you. You can't stop the voice from screaming. What you can do is tell that voice to shut up. Say, in your mind, you have to realize that those occasional thoughts that pop into your head, those are not the defining characteristics of yourself. Sometimes you have to consciously remind yourself that does not where you came from does not define you, and it doesn't define where you're going. So, I don't think that you're probably one of these people that's being ultra impacted by this insecurity or anything. So you remind yourself from time to time you have a lot of good qualities. You're obviously a very smart guy, just as smart as these people who are in this program with you. That's why you're there. And the fact that they come from families that may have a little bit bigger bank account, that's completely irrelevant. At some point, yeah, you may end up with far more money than any of them. You never know. Money is a tool for people who have it, but it's by no means a scorecard as to who's a better person, who's the higher quality person. There are plenty of wonderful people that come from very difficult circumstances, and plenty of wonderful people who are very fortunate. And on the converse of that, you have people who are perfectly privileged and they do absolutely nothing with it, and they are just a waste of time. So don't judge yourself by that standard, certainly. And one more thing, just not directly related to your question, but anybody who says, that they go through life with no insecurity or any of that is lying. And one of three things usually happens when somebody is really, really insecure and full of self-doubt. One, they become full of bravado, and they're always going around touting their own praises and hoping they can convince everybody that they're really great. Two, they can become incredibly mean and vicious, and there's a lot of that. That people who are uncomfortable with themselves can often project onto other people as a way to keep from dealing with their own issues. And three, it can make for a very impotent person. I don't mean impotent sexually, but just very ineffective in life, and you're constantly just slowed down in everything you do because of this sense that you're not good enough, you're not smart enough, you're not handsome enough, whatever it may be. And you really have to make an effort to deal with insecurities in a reasonable and rational way so that they don't become that anchor around your neck. So I think that sometimes it's just worth reminding yourself that, we spend so much time listening to this little voice that pops in our head that tells us all the things that we're not good at or that we should be concerned about, that we don't make a conscious effort to remind ourselves about all the good things that we do, all the good traits that we have. Because isn't it interesting that little subconscious voice that keeps popping up very rarely tells us something that's it's more likely to give you a kick in the ass rather than a pat on the back. So sometimes you really have to remember to remind yourself of what a good person you are. For some people, that may be harder to do than others, but I digress. Dylan, that's my answer. I hope this helps you, and thank you for your question. I thought it was really good. Guys, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I would really, really appreciate it.